Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Hello and thanks again. It's that time on Enterprise TV where we talk about what you're talking about, if you know what I mean.
David, you shall be doing anyhow. This is New Year. Where's the new you?
What do you mean? Well, speaking of new things, anyway, I'll come back to that. You're watching Let's Talk About Tomorrow, and I'm David.
I'm Petrina, before you call me something else.
What are you doing? Okay, no problem. I won't call you something else today. So what will happen today is that I no go gree for you, shall just understand. And that's our topic for today, no gree for anybody. But, you know, let's bring the rest of the team. And in this new year, we're still doing ladies first. So.
Okay, I am Blessing.
Okay, Blessing. It's really nice to have you here.
Thanks.
And of course, we have Barrister Evans, who is the rabbi and teacher.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you guys here. So, like I mentioned earlier, no grief for anybody. I know most of us here, even including you, Sir Barrister, we use the internet very well.
Yes.
And the past few weeks, you've been hearing no grief. You've been seeing a lot of things. I can assume because I know for sure. Because it has been in our faces.
Especially on Twitter.
Especially
everybody.
on Twitter. Everybody. So, no grief for anybody, sir. When you hear it now, what comes to mind for you?
Well, the moment I saw it, I said, this person is an inspiration. Because it looks to me like the world woke up quite early, quite late rather.
Quite late.
Because right from time, I know they agree. Right from when I begin to understand things, I know they agree. And I've never seen a lawyer where they agree. No matter whether I'm reading from the same law books, there's no lawyer where they agree. You understand? So
yes, sir. I
think it's a spirit of forthrightness, a spirit of determination to conquer. So, conquer your world, explore it, entrench it to the fullest, so that you don't allow people to come and dictate for you what your career should be, or what your destiny would be, or the direction of your future. You understand? So, no grief for anybody means it's a good thing for the year. Much more than even most of the ones we see in the religious circle, because they want to be humble. But this one is a theme for people who don't want to be humble in that sense.
Yes.
They want to face their career squarely. And they want to be religious people. When, after the baptism of Jesus, the Bible says that the Holy Spirit led him to be tested by the devil. You understand? All the things the devil threw at him. Turn stone to bread, jump from here to there, Jesus no believe.
Yeah.
You understand? So just to prove that.
That drives it home.
So it's just about that.
Even Jesus no grief for the devil. I'll tweet that out there when we talk. So, Blessing, for you, no grief for anybody. What comes to mind?
Okay, for me, when I first heard it, when I saw it, at first I was like, yeah, this is what we need. Yeah, because the first thing that came to mind was, yes, you can't let anybody put you down. This is 2024. Those that stopped you in 2023, you mustn't let them stop you again.
Okay.
So it's just, for me, it's about not letting anybody stop you from achieving what you're set to achieve.
Okay.
It's about your dream. It's about what you want to get.
Okay.
Don't let anybody talk you down. Let them put you down.
Okay.
Don't let them say you are not enough. Don't let them say you can't achieve it because you're too small.
I like what I'm listening.
Yeah, about your mental health as well.
Okay. So more like being in the driver's seat. Not like anybody put you down. But don't grief for anybody. Don't say your voice.
For me, no grief for you. I mean, people always call me stubborn.
Yeah.
No grief for you. I know they agree.
Okay.
I know they agree. You cannot tell me. You can't tell me what to do.
Okay.
So I think that covers it covers every aspect of my life. I won't lie. Because for me, I don't let. My parents also say that sometimes I'm disobedient, but yeah, but
I like where we are entering now in this conversation. It's where I want us to actually shed light into.
Yeah.
Because there are some things that are flying around, even in the same way. You're talking about being in the driver's seat of your life, and Barrister also said something like that. So, for the most part now, we are dwelling on the positive drive behind. Well, if there's something about we Gen Zs, we always find a way twist,
Actually,
what do they call it? But before we try to delve into that and establish it, I want to ask a question to you, sir.
Yeah.
The words or the idea of no grief for anybody in this day and age, in the context of friendship, how best would you think it is applicable?
Well, I think no grief for anybody in the context should be that it should not represent insubordination. It should not represent, flagrant disregard to constitutional authorities. Okay, because even within friends, okay, there are hierarchies. Okay, respect is reciprocal, give and take. The older ones within friends, whether Gen Z, whether millennials, whether our own age, I don't know what we are. Because we started measuring class in the sense of age not too long ago.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whatever it is, I think that within friends, okay, no grief for anybody should not come without the requisite respect that we should give one another. The love and the care, the concern. Okay, the anthem should be that we should rather use it to aspire to our dreams. Okay, call the next person on phone and say, what's up with you? What are you up to today? I hope you remember when we did this year.
Okay.
As to what is before us.
Yes.
As to this, our friendship. As to where we are going to, where we are headed, what the future holds. We know the agree. We have to make it. We have to be law-abiding.
Exactly.
Why we know the agree. We have to criticize government when necessary. You understand? We have to tell them the truth. We have to do all that we have to do within the bounds of law, believing that our future is guaranteed if we know it. Because whichever way you look at it, it's just that the expression came to the fore recently. There are practitioners of that expression before it came to the fore.
Yes.
You understand? Some of us have been practitioners. We didn't understand that we could put it out there and sell it as a concept. But the truth is that I would rather that we are obedient to the rule of law. But as much as we're obedient, we should not be docile. Because one of the problems we have is docility. The Gen Zs have the whole energy. This world, I mean, they were born into information. What will you tell a child that is born into information? That you sit down and see what your father climbed the rope tree to see what Gen Z cannot see. What you can't tell the Gen Z much. You can't tell them much in terms of you can only bring the experience to bear. That okay, then we did this in our time. You are doing this. But the most important thing is that the future is one that this generation, owns, and they are the future of the world. Leadership is going to be by the definition of what you place on it, you young people. Okay. There are certain set of persons in Nigeria whom the colonial master directly handed over Nigeria to. They didn't manage it well. Okay. Even though they still found themselves, they are still puritanic. They still believe that they were purer than any generation that existed. But what was left with them, they slipped off. So this generation, no will agree, will not allow what has been bequeathed to us, whether good or bad, to slip away. We are going to define our future. We are going to take over all the space. We are already defining that. The Gen Z defined Nigerian music.
Obviously, sir.
In the way it is now. Obviously. I know we have foundation on the fella of this world.
Yes.
Okay, but where it is today in the global stage, the millennials took it there. The Gen Zs, the Rema and the rest of them, the Davido and the Whiskey.
They're not green.
We are being Bonabo. They don't agree.
They're not green for it.
Yes. So we don't agree. We're on a global stage. What does it mean in the world? Is to entrench that. So now take it to oil and gas, take it to IT, take it to wherever, and
not limit ourselves to just music.
Very well.
Because I would like to add that for me personally, I feel that we know the GREE is something that is innately, deposited in every Nigerian.
Yes.
Me, I like to say Nigeria because if I'll come to Africa again, my next life, I wouldn't be any other country. I want to be Nigeria. So for me, it's the truth. Yeah, agree with you. It's the truth. I see, thank God the internet is there. I see what other people from other African countries, and now they look at Nigerians like, what the heck is you people's motivation? Why you do this?
Yeah, this said that the South African investment coach said that not too long ago in a program in Lagos that the rest of us, Africa, he said, supporting him, that each time we see Nigerians, we don't know why. You always want to fight. You always, he said, well, you know what? We Africans, we always agree because we're afraid. We're scared of you guys.
Yeah.
You understand? So that spirit is there. And all we have achieved today in the world is as a result of that push. So, yes, we are a global brand now as a result of what we do.
So, it's with us.
So, Blessing, I'd like to ask you, since we are not green for anybody, how do you define someone's, like a person's personal space?
Okay, your personal space.
Yes.
I think your personal space it's your own. It is what you want to maintain. It's about the idea that you have. Okay, the idea you have in your mind that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to have. It's a space it's your personal thing, the orientation you have. So when you talk about your personal space, you're talking about this is the boundaries you've set.
Okay.
You don't want someone to overstep this.
Okay.
Just talk about when you were saying something the other time, you talked about they know that you're disobedient. And there's something I want.
That's not.
You said sometimes, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I think one thing that's really essential for us to note is the fact that it is not possible for you to chase your own dreams, for you to be your own person and please every other person.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it is important that you know that in this journey of no good for anybody, you cannot satisfy everybody. Definitely, there will be some
That's why you don't win. That's why you don't win.
there will be some stipulated rules, some stipulated ways of life. Talk about the novelties we have, the new things that people have done. They have to go out of the ordinary. They have to
break the status quo.
Yeah, they have to go outside of the status quo to achieve those things. And I tell you that for every good thing that they did, probably they had about 99 people that talked down on that idea, that told them this is not how to do it, this is not the regular. But they were willing to go out of this is the stipulated way of doing things, this is how it is done, to experiment new things.
Okay. So what you are saying is no matter how unpopular it might feel or it might seem, boundaries is one very strong, having boundaries is one of those very strong, also no GREE anthem, how would I even call it now? One of the things you do as a result of this year, I'm not GREE for anybody. To add something to that, I feel because in the context of friendship amongst us, one thing that is blood, that line, knowing when you are doing too much. Some people just feel entitled to your time, entitled to your, and they all in the name of being friends. We are living that in the past. We are living that in the 2023 and back. Right now, no GREE for anybody. For me, it also means you are drawing the line very, very firmly. What you say you are not doing, you put your foot down and say you are not doing it. If not, nobody will take you so seriously. If you get what I mean.
And I'd like to add to that.
Okay.
But it's something that I experienced personally.
Okay, let's hear
Because I like my space a lot because I realize that for every action you put out there, you have to have spent some hours inside building that portfolio for the outside world. So I realized that when you can't please everybody. That's just one fact that I want us to know. We have so many friends. Everybody's demanding your attention. Everybody's saying, you didn't bother checking up, you didn't bother doing this. They are demanding a lot from you. I had to tell myself that, okay, fine. If I really want to achieve this thing that I said to achieve, then I need to know those that will remain in my circle. If you can't deal with it, I can't say because I want to.
That's hardcore.
So how are you going to communicate to your friends that, okay, this is a new year, new me?
Okay, like an old friend. Now you want to communicate new values. That's serious.
You can start by updating your WhatsApp chat.
What we call offline messages.
No, it's not constructive notice. It's not actual notice because I didn't write a letter as a take.
Okay.
That's actual notice. Well, constructive notice is implied. It's just out there. for people to begin to, take notice of the fact
make
that
some deduction.
in the spirit of not agree for anybody, I have hereby, these are my resolutions now. I want you to do this.
Some calls from social
So there are people who will read it and still want to say, what is he saying? They will say attack you and all that. You understand? So people will still overstep it, but it is necessary that you start from there. Then before you go into the full evangelism of one-on-one and all this one, I'm not doing this one, this
But it will take a lot of time for them to adapt to the new you.
Of course, it takes time. Change is something that we always shape everywhere. There are people who will even stop talking to you as a result of your decision and resolution.
Actually.
But the truth is that for growth, for the process of growth, you cannot be in one spot all the time. There's a proverb in Yoruba land, they say 20 children cannot. They cannot be together for 20 years. Do you understand? So you can't play together for 20 years, not possible. Just the people who you attended primary school at the same time, can you say that the bond you have then is the same bond you share? You understand? Because life happens to everyone. Situations and circumstances would have taken everybody to different directions. So you can't hold on to because of one friend. You have to tie your life down. This is the same person who's going to turn over the next time. And the next time you realize it's already ahead.
And you are
So you don't define what you want to be from the outset. And nobody can really define it for you what you want to be.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to really want to define it yourself.
That's your life. Now, this is just me thinking out loud. Honestly, how many people makes a friend circle? Is a circle of friends? How many people should?
I won't lie, most of the time I see some people, they claim that they have maybe up to like 10 friends. I can't do it, I won't lie. I just feel like you can't be very like have a solid relationship with 10 people at the same time. There will be some that you won't be too close.
Should I say I'm disagreeing a little bit? Because I'm a very I guess the problem is differentiating in our time who is an acquaintance and who is a friend.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is 10, like to say you have like 10 best friends at the same time.
Best friends is a very audacious word.
No, I know what is taking place here. The conflict here has to do with personality.
Okay, yes.
So you see, there are people who are melancholic, who are into themselves. Okay, they have their advantages, they have their disadvantages. Okay, they have to say we have the sanguines, those who are very outgoing, who are outspoken. They are the best salesmen in business. They can talk to anybody. There's nothing they cannot sell. You understand? There's nothing they cannot sell. There's nobody they cannot meet and all that. There is also the phlegmatics.
Yes.
Those ones are live and let live. They want to maintain relationship. They are talking to you. If you frown your face, they will apologize. They are easygoing. They don't want things to degenerate. You understand? There is also the choleric. The choleric does not care. He's a natural leader. It's either everybody fire up here. If you say, I get better, they pay me. He will walk you out. You understand?
Yeah.
They have no emotions. Just show them the targets. What they want to achieve is until the target is achieved, they don't care. People are like that. You just find out that they lead well. But their weakness is that they are not emotional. They are not caring. They don't know when people are breaking down. They can't understand why are you breaking down.
They are not in tune with that.
You understand? So for those ones, in as much as they can manage and lead well, they have that disadvantage. The phlegmatic have its own disadvantage. You want everybody to be fine. And at the end of the day, everybody cannot be fine.
You are not
Okay.
fine.
The sanguine is the talker. If you see him outside, well dressed, sparkling. If you go to the house where it's coming out from, the room is coming out from. You understand? So, personality. If you have it, the psychologist said that you can have a touch of truth. You can have a dominant one. And you can have, you need to, if you go on the internet, you can run the test to find that I am a melancholic predominantly, but I have a touch of sanguine.
Okay.
So, sang. Sometimes I just go into myself.
Okay.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to. Sometimes I talk. The thing is outgoing. Sometimes we come back. You know, the melancholic advantage.
Interesting. I didn't know you could have.
No, you have the touch of two. I will recommend the book.
You cannot do, but that
There's a book by Tim Lai. Why you act the way you act. Every young person should read it.
Okay. Tim Booz, huh?
Tim Lai.
Okay.
Tim Lai. Why you act the way you act.
Okay.
Now, this was a discovery by Hippocrates, one of the ancient philosophers. You know, this discovery dates back to 1730. Thereabouts. You understand? So, if you read the book, you take the test, you will find out your temperament. And your temperament can aid your career. Sometimes you have flair for some things, you don't know why. It's tied to your temperament.
So you're finding out what your temperament is, can help you make better decisions.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Why is it that somebody can take this watch from you and say, I want to go and sell it? In the next 2 hours, you will bring me money. So you can be with somebody for 1 month.
And not, we don't take the same, but not the ability to say.
Not the ability to say. You understand?
Yes,
And let me just close that. The melancholy, their advantage is that they are very creative. They are into themselves. They are thinkers. They are the best composers of music.
Yeah.
They are the best writers.
Yeah.
But their disadvantage is this. They can be very, they are bitter people. They are sadists. They can be very depressed unnecessarily. You understand? Once they switch into that circle, they are lost in that. They know how to nurse. If you offend them, they know how to nurse it. Unforgiveness, they will nurse it. They will keep malice. They can keep malice for the rest of their lives. It's like so. You see, it was anywhere that anytime you read that book, the more you read the book, the more you are looking at yourself like,
and like what's the name of the book again, sir?
Tim Lai.
Tim Lai is the author.
Yes. Why you act the way you do.
Okay, why you act the way you act. On that note, let's go on a short break. We'll be back and it's still the discussion of No Grief for Anybody 2024. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. We're still on the conversation. No Grief for Anybody 2024. This is Let's Talk About Tomorrow. And I have one burning question on my mind, David.
Because you know we grief for
I
anybody.
have one burning question on my mind.
Because you know
My
we
question
for anybody.
is, my question is, how are you?
Because you know we grief for
my
anybody.
question, my
okay.
question is,
I'm listening.
how do you know that your no grief for anybody? How do you know that it has paid off by the end of the year? Like after you've been, not grieving for anybody. How do you know
throughout the year and stuff.
it has paid off?
Okay. For me, I would like to answer that question on a personal basis. And I know we've been saying don't allow anybody from outside your circle, blah 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 blah, coming to spoil, put some sign in your diary, that kind of thing. For me, now myself, I don't want grief for. So there's been some things that hitherto has been prevalent, some character traits that this year I no agree. So by the end of the year, there are some for example now, putting myself out there a little bit, there's a sense of being laid back a little bit that I think that I've noticed in my I know agree this year. So by the end of the year, if I see that there's been some strides that I can obviously see that, okay, David, you did this, what you wouldn't normally do if you stayed in character, and I see that, okay, I see it and everything, there would be, how would I put it? It would be a, how would I put it? A way to obviously know that I have done better. There will be, of course, money is a metric, definitely. And my grades, it's not like I'm doing bad, but I want to do better. And what else? My relationship with people, how to be better, how to have more depth in terms of relation, and my family, obviously. connect it a bit
Also,
more.
like moving, advancing your career.
Oh, everything. This 2024 is loaded.
Yes.
So by the end of the year, I want to see the product of that load after they don't drop. They
What about
compare
your
and all.
person? How are you going to know that you're
Okay, for me, I already have a list of things I want to achieve for 2024.
Okay.
So, and one of them is getting more certificates, doing more, working on my career. So, by the end of the year, I'll review my list and let's see how far we've gotten.
That's very important. The fact that it has to be penned down.
Yeah.
Even scripture says,
Yes.
write the vision,
Yes.
make it plain.
Yes.
You know, putting pen to paper always
Forget
helps
the
to
journal and
that kind of
So
thing.
you know how far you've gone,
Mhm.
what you've done.
Yeah.
Even before the year goes to an end, I just go back to my list and cross it out. Okay, I've done this, I've achieved this.
So
What
this
do I need
will
to
no
work
GREE
on?
2024. The measure.
Practical.
So what you are saying, in effect, that has to be measured.
Yes.
Yes, for me, no GREE 2024, no GREE for anybody. I want to use 2024 to fight forward. Yes, I want to fight poverty because if you look at scripture, I reference scripture again. It says the rich man's wealth is a strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. It's a very strong statement. Proverbs 10:16. It's a very strong statement. So I want to fight poverty to a certain. But poverty is powerful. Yes. In Lagos, for example, it takes you an average of 10, 15 years to fight poverty. Even more. Because it is hydra-headed. Especially if you are
Multiple heads.
yes, especially if you are in your lineage or in your household, there is no foundation. You are the one that is starting the process of generation and regeneration of wealth creation under a battered economy, under an adversarial economy where government isn't doing much for anybody. You have to plan, you have to execute, you have to be creative, most importantly, deliberate about wealth creation, and then to then have it, manage it, and sustain it. It's a lifetime ambition.
Manage and sustain. Sir.
Yes, it's a
Emphasis.
it's even harder to manage and sustain than to cross. You understand? Because there's this study in Harvard. They said the gap between learning and doing is wider than the gap between ignorance and knowledge. So,
Sir, would you mind saying that again? So we hold on to that.
yes. That the gap between learning and doing is wider than the gap between ignorance and knowledge. What it means is that the gap that exists between learning something or studying something and doing exactly what you have studied to achieve results, that gap is wider than the gap between being ignorant and being knowledgeable. You understand? So it's a whole lot of work. It's a lifetime. I know GREE for anybody should not just be a slogan. At the tail end of the year, or at the end of the year rather, we should be able to measure what I know GREE for anybody, what it has yielded, or what the prospects, the out result or the aftermath. Is it positive, is it negative? Should we reenact an GREE for anybody in the coming year,
Yes.
given that it's something that has driven us to success?
Exactly.
Or has it driven us to
Otherwise.
has it driven us to poverty?
Or was it just all talk?
Was it just all talk and all that? So that measure is important.
When
That we
talking
know.
about
So for me, it's just about a serious fight against poverty. I want to be a rich man. I'm planning to be a rich man, but I don't know where.
let's close that road to bring it into fruition. So now to drive the point home, everybody we talk, including Petrina, I'll start with you, Blessing.
Okay.
I know we GREE 2024, Gen Z, we have the tendency to take things to the extreme. This is what we do very well, we can attest to that. So now, violence in any context, and I know we GREE 2024, relate two of them, draw the lines from blessings point of view. Let's hear.
Okay, so from blessings point of view, I believe you can do anything to chase your dream, to ensure that nobody imposes on what you want to do. As long as as long as it is within the context of the law. Okay. As long as you're not breaking any law.
Emphasis on the as long as you are not breaking
and besides the context of the law, it is also important that you consider the feelings of others around you. In as much as we know go agree,
don't be irresponsible.
Yes, there should be a thin line between hurting others and not agreeing. So we should be considerate as well.
Okay. So context of the law and being considerate to your fellow human.
Yeah.
Okay. Pet, violence and not agree, Gen Z.
I am always anti-violence. I never, hit someone or maybe not even get into exactly. Doesn't even have to be physical, but so I agree with her when she says to be considerate, because not agreeing for anybody. Okay, let me put it in a context. So for instance, let's say you have a friend, right, that is coming to you, and then the person is asking you for money. Usually you will say, okay, we no go agree, but then there is a way that the person will, I don't know how to put, let's say, okay, there's a way the person will ask you, and you know that this person, maybe the person doesn't actually have. Yes. So you can but we also, at the same time, there's some people that over ask. And those are the people that you know will agree for. Exactly. So you have to know who you are not agreeing for.
So in essence, what they are saying is that they are not agree concept should not take away the humanity in us. Yes, because we are first humans before any other thing. You see this issue about concept, friendship, religion, all the things of life. We are first humans before we learn those things. Okay, and most times we throw that humanity away in order to express our newfound discoveries. Okay, whether it's discovering anything, our career, family, those are discoveries. Okay, contextual discoveries of all that variables. Our humanity must come first. Okay, like part of what I'm doing in the year is to reach out to more people, women and children. My jurisdiction is women and children. I provide legal support for women and children and rape victims, and it's free of charge. Okay, then I reach out a lot to the have-nots, those who, by virtue of circumstances, I separate it to not those who are just docile, and then they have decided to just be idle.
The ones the former president talked about.
So the ones I really attend to are those ones who, situation and circumstances, perhaps challenges, physical disabilities, that unfortunate situations are visited, and as a result of that, they cannot subsist. The quality of their life cannot go on to a particular threshold. So that is where I come in to do the best I can. I don't go with cameras. That is why it's not seen everywhere. I don't go with cameras because it's not necessary. I think going with the camera will be that you are also taking away that humanity you are trying to bring. You are trying to bring. So we should not, as a result of the fact that we are trying to give humanity, take away humanity, or advertise what it is we are doing. It's not necessary. But the needy must feel our impact. So let's also say that we not go green for the needy to keep going hungry. You understand? Let's say, okay, we will not also, I keep talking about Jesus today. Well, I'm not like I am, like he said, that the Spirit of God is upon me, not to consume it on myself, to reach out to the poor, the oppressed. the downtrodden. You understand? So our life should be part of our career. And the white man calls it CSR.
Yeah,
Part of your career should be to give back to society. Even though it's challenging for you to give back to society in a country where society has not been giving much to you. But because God has allowed you to scale through that society that didn't give you much, you need to give back to that society. And give back to society will mean the most vulnerable in our society should be able to benefit from us, whichever way it is, small or big.
Okay.
That's what I think it should be.
All right, sir. So I like it. Your own wrapping up of No GREE 2024 is that you have to be considerate to other people, and you said whatever you do has to be within the context of the law. You talked about being empowered. Should I say empathy?
Have empathy.
Yeah. And so you're talking about giving back to the society, having a resolve that you know will agree for other people that you can, lend a hand to just continue existing without you lending a hand to them. So to wrap up, for me personally, I feel your No GREE 2023 should not just blind you with ambition such that someone is on the receiving end of what your pursuit is, if you get what I'm trying to say. Some people will stab the attention of their parents. They will damn the consequences. What I'm trying to say is that don't let your ambition, your No GREE 2024, make you lose, just blind you such that, cloud your judgment such that you lose even very important relationships. Do you get? So in everything, moderation is key. Moderation and perfect judgment. So on that note, we end this episode of No GREE 2024 on Let's Talk About tomorrow on Enterprise TV. Do well to subscribe to our page on YouTube at Enterprise TV.